Good evening, good evening, good evening. Sorry I'm a little late. I was eating something. Salute to you, brother Mark Nash. Sorry about that. Thank you. Sorry I'm a little late. Had to put some in my stomach. I was getting weak. So sorry for the inconvenience. Welcome to my secondary channel, the number one grind of real talk. Thank you, Mark Nash, for coming. Hope you stay and thanks for the to get the likes up, please, please, please. Very much important. This is the underrated MMA talk, MMA sports talk number 34. All right, so we're gonna get it going here. Okay, we're gonna get it going. I'm gonna read this out first. Then we're gonna hit you with the intro. Just remember, us as the righteous ones, we are still winners. That's the real. That's the real. That's the real. All right. Um, get this intro going and be right back. Be right back. MMA talk coming. Yeah.
But y'all thought y'all wasn't gonna see me? I'm the Osiris of this shit. Check this out. Perfect. Champion. The way of the warrior. Champion eyes. Get back up. My spirit cries.
But you're a well-rounded warrior. You keep on fighting. That's what I am. Well-rounded warrior. I say for me, I've been passed over my family, my fans, so-called family, some so-called family members, some friends, and etc. Pass over me. They feel that I'm not even there. And I used to accept it as I'm gonna prove something to you. Nah. That I have to understand when I get older is what I am. And I have to understand that when I'm moving of a certain space of my life to strive to do better, not that many people are going to understand your vision. Not many people is refused to understand the growth of your vision, of your self-vision. The growth of your vision help some.
You ain't lying.
Here we go, here I go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The one and only Brother George Page again, Mark Nash. Thanks for showing up. Very much appreciated.
No problem. You're welcome, brother. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. This is the underrated MMA talk number 34.
Come a long way.
Yeah, come a long way, man. Come a long way from the first one and stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so how you feel tonight?
I'm all right. Just sitting about, watching TV, watching other stuff here and there, trying to keep myself busy and my mind busy.
All right. I hope everybody's doing okay. Everybody's doing okay. And I'll send the links out to the other brothers and the others. See they gonna come and stuff like that. But so let's get into it until other people comes.
Alrighty. As you know, last night was UFC. I think it was Fight Night 51, 52, and Dana White went. They had it all the way in Jolly Oat, England, and the main event was Alex Volkov, Alexander Volkov versus I forgot the guy Tom something another. I couldn't get his name. And Volkov, he is in the heavyweight division, and he been fighting for a long time. He had a pretty good record, but he took some hits. In one fight, he was fighting against Derek Lewis. He was winning the fight against Lewis, but Lewis hit him that one hit quitter. And it was over. And somebody made a meme about it. It was like it was a bad knockout. I mean, he was done. But anyway, I think the Alexander, he was possibly ever look at him as being the probably top winner. But this other guy, Tom, he just came in and he put on a clinic. I mean, he gave Volkanovski Volkov. So what's the white show? Volkov gave him a hard fight, and he just pretty much he submitted him. It was over. I mean, yeah, I think a winner of fleece because usually a Bellator, UFC event is usually like about 5 rounds. I think it didn't get that far as it should have, but it was a pretty tough fight from what I saw from on YouTube. Like I said, I was out and about the other day, and I didn't get home till later the afternoon. And the fight had it because I think they had it in England. It was like 6 hours. I think English was 5-6 hours ahead of us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but get back to the Derek Lewis, man. That was nasty. I peeped it up myself. That yes, Derek Lewis, he got some skills, but I feel like we talked on here. He should work more on his skills and more grappling and more submission and stuff like that. But it's one thing about Derek Lewis when he connect, you're not gonna get up.
No, he has put some lights out. He has some good wins. Like over people like Francis Ngannou, and he beat Volkov and quite a few other guys, but he's not that well rounded, and he's just has so many limitations in his skill set. That's one thing that really hurts him. If he had a better skill set, he could go a long way, but it's kind of limited.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, what fight you saw?
Yeah, I don't know when to start, man. I don't know. Catch up and stuff, man.
Well, just pick one and go. What's your thoughts?
I do want to talk about the first one. We'll talk about answer. I think that was a good win, and it could go either way, and it goes to show that once one move could cost you. And that's what happened to Jerkos. He slipped and then take advantage of that and everything. I mean, that fight could win anyway, but it was controlled. The middle of the fight, middle of the octagon, and that was a good one. That was a good win.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one.
Then you had the which everybody's pushing is the next Conor McGregor. I think his name is Patty. I mean, let me give me his name right because if I forget about it, because it's let's see, I can't remember his name. He's a little blonde boy. I think he's Irish. Patty Blimp, how you say it, and he was a part of the pretty much he was more like the co-main event, and he knocked out this guy Rodrigo Vargas in submission in the first round, and he's getting a big push. Everybody see him as the next kind of Conor McGregor. He's English, he's from Liverpool, but that's what they're seeing him. He's the one that I think somebody last time I saw him, he was really skinny kind of dude, but then next thing you know, he's all pumped up.
Yeah.
Ever since he got into UFC, you see pictures of him now. The dude's just super overly ripped. And he has a kind of a you the hairstyle's kind of like mod. He's kind of like have that bold haircut. You know, and I think that's why they like him. I don't know much about Vargas. I think a better person to be here for like maybe I think XA or you know Watcher would know a lot better about him. Yeah, kind of limited. And see, it was like CB also in the same that after the end of the fight, him and another fighter by the name of Meatball Marlon McCann, they were celebrating because they're both from England. They were fighting in their backyard. And Marlon McCann had a fight. He fought against a woman by the name of Luana Carolina. They're fighting 125. And towards the end of the third round, Molly hits Luana with a devastating elbow and put her to sleep for good. I mean, I've seen the clips of it. I mean, it was a hard hitting one. I mean, I think it probably got finished at the night. Because if you put out a good KO, and Dana White like it, you get the bonuses, they'll give you a bonus. It's like 50K. So, even though here's the thing, truth is that, over in England, the American dollar doesn't cost as much as the British pound. So, if you deduct that, I think she don't get as much as she does if she was back in the States. But hey, still, whatever amount it is, it's still some extra money for her, and plus her show money, her fight money, and hey, that's a good chunk of change.
Yeah. And another fight is up in London. This is Dara Till against George McAvoy.
What's his name again?
Maybe I just pronounce it wrong.
Let me see. You see George. I see there was a Gunnar Nelson on the other card. Let me see, because
Leon Edwards, he won that fight.
See which was
that Tills.
We had Dan Hooker versus Arnold Allen, and that fight that was a TKO knockout for Arnold Allen. Now Dan Hooker's been in the game for quite some time. I've heard his name quite a few times. He's been fighting for practically, I would say, for a good while in UFC. I think he was also probably he was one point they were talking about him being a title contender, but he kind of slipped down the ropes a bit, And you see, usually they have a prelim card, and that was the one where it was like on there was Corey McKenna versus Elisa Reed, and then Corey McKenna, she was, she won by decision, and she was a up and comer. She beat a fighter I'm not a fan of, that's Kate Hansen. She's also from Britain, so this is a great opportunity to win a fight in her backyard.
Yeah, the preliminary was okay. It was okay. We had Mark Dusky against Joseph Duff. He won decision. I checked that out, and the light heavyweight. We got Nick.
I actually at least read that. I'm sorry, I got it wrong. It was at least read that beat Curry McKenna. I got that wrong. No, I apologize.
Okay, and then we got Nicolette. No, Kirium. Maybe I pronounce it right.
Let me see.
I guess it's in the preliminary.
Let me see. Was it Muhammad Mokove? Or was it? It's Corey Durden. Because there's two fights that was canceled, and
I ain't talking about the canceled one. I'm talking about this one. It's light heavyweight.
Oh, light heavyweight.
It's in the preliminary. It's preliminary.
Oh, yeah. Paul Craig versus Nika. Yeah, I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna say Nikita. I'm gonna say Nikita. That's all the name I know. First name. These Russian last names are, I just can't, really pronounce as well. It's Russian or something. But I didn't get to see that fight. Like I said.
Yeah, I checked out a little bit. It was good. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
That was okay. Then that's like heavyweight. That was a lightweight. I mean, then the light, and then the fairway was Danny Henry against the IQ. IQ he won by submission. I checked that one out too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the women's flyweight won by decision. I don't know. I forgot, man.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think it was McKinnon versus Reed was on that was a strawweight on the prelims, and and like I said, most of the fights I missed because the fact was, like I said, I was out, and I saw a couple of them on YouTube. I
There's a
tried to get.
few of them I did check out. Just but putting their names is like crazy. Yeah, Mark Dageski just gets Joseph Duffy.
Mm-hmm.
And they got about the same record. One Dageski is 14-5, and Joseph Duffy he got 16-5. Lightweight. I said give and take. They probably like in the top 20.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like in the top 20.
Mm-hmm.
So that's lightweight. Then the one I'll talk about, the featherweight, Danny Henry, Dan IQ. That's the featherweight. I heard of both of them and everything. Danny Henry, he's 12-4. He won the submission. Then Dan IQ. That was okay win. That was okay win. Give and take. They probably like in the top 20. Then you got the woman flyweight, Molly McCollum. She won by
Mm-hmm.
decision. Then the featherweight Mike Grundy gets that Nama TKO. Now he's 12-3, and Nam Grundy is 12-4. That's upcoming. I don't know. The featherweight. I don't know. I know about the featherweights, but I don't know. But that helps with. And then the middleweight, Tom Breeze against Ian Heshish. That's what's canceled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think I saw that that two fights that were canceled. But I guess either it was somebody that got injured or it was the virus protocols. Where because that's how they usually do. If you have the virus, you can't fight, even though you came conditioned, came ready. But once you get sick, hey, you have to sit out. Mm-hmm.
Then you got the welterweight. It's on the main card. Danny Roberts. It gives Claudio Silva. Silva won by submission. Um, welterweight. That's one of the best. That's one of the best weight classes you need to watch.
The welterweight,
Yeah.
yeah, because that's where Usman is. He's a champion over that because the guy's not as big. They're I think a lot of more quicker because they're like welterweights in between middle and light, and you're in that midways where you're not as big but you're not as small. There's more speed. You can. There's also good chances of knockouts. You can get lower down the weight, like something at like feather or down to as far as a flyweight, especially in the men's division. You can see not as many knockouts. You might see some every now and then. Most of these guys got to work on submissions because but every now and then you see a pretty good knockout. But the women's harder. Like I think the smaller division for women is Atom, and you see quite few, very very few knockouts in that division. You might see some submissions, and most of the time those ladies they go to the limit. They may be small, but they fight.
Yeah. Then you got Jack. I think you talked about him already. Jack Marshman gets John Phillips. He improved to 23-10, and he John Phillips he fought to 22-11. Then one NC. So
Mhm.
I did watch that one too. That was okay. Now that one I don't know of the middleweights and stuff. Her Escacha will come so he could tell the because I definitely want to know. I definitely want to know the rank is on the middleweights.
Because X is good at a lot more better than I am. Because I don't keep up with a lot of the lower end guys. Once you start climbing up the rope, I start paying attention to you. But most of the time, those so many people and so many of those divisions, it's hard to pick that one person to really pay attention to. You really have a big scope for. But when you get the guys who are like winning, who got a lot of more attention, like I said, you got the Conor McGregors, you got the John Jones, you got you got Derek Lewis's, you got guys like who else was I trying to think of? This guy here, the Patty guy he's getting up there because it's the lightweight division. But then the champion over there is Charles Oliveira, and Charles is a tough guy. He's supposed to be fighting I believe Justin Gaethje. I think the next pay-per-view coming up. I think is it when's that next? When is Gaethje going to be fighting? See. She chose Oliveira. Let's see. He supposed to be. Let's see. Supposed to say. That's UFC 274. I think that's in May, I believe. Let me check. See, 274. Yeah, it's in May because that's the main event with the on the undercard is my hero, my Shiro, Valentin Shevchenko versus Talia Santos. No, that's not. Wait a minute, no, that's not it. No, Talia and what's face? No, I'm sorry, that's wrong. I want to say apologize. That's Rosana Nunez versus Carla Esparza, and somebody called her Charles Esparza. I don't know what these. And there's Joe Joe Luzawa. I know that name, recognize it. He's been fighting for a long time. He should have been retired. And Cabo Cerrone, that's another guy that needs to retire. Some fighters they didn't just keep because like you got Shogun Hura versus OSP. And I don't know, Shogun. He's been a champion before. That was in the light heavy, but I think OSP, he's gonna kill him. I think Shogun. I don't know why he's even still fighting. You have Michael Chandler, who's like a big hype, versus Tony Ferguson. Tony, he's a pretty good fighter. If he's not so full of himself. Then you got Macy Chazon, versus Norma Dumont. That's on the prelims. And that's in women's featherweight, which featherweight needs to be built up. That is the vision to be built because you got bigger women, you're gonna have more opportunities, maybe some heavier shots and more knockouts. But because Dana White's prejudiced to bigger women, he don't think that they sell or anything like that. He does that shit. He's just prejudiced. And one lady who I did an interview a while back, I've become fond of her, Lupita Gutierrez. She is fighting against Eric Colosi. And this girl, if you ever seen her, she looks like she like she'd be on pads. She looks like practically a bodybuilder. I don't know how she passes the piss tests. And that's about it. Most of the names I don't recognize. There's Tracy Cortez versus Melissa Gatto, and who else who stands out I recognize? That's about it. So the guys don't recognize as much. Francisco Tornado versus Danny Roberts. CJ O'Reilly versus one name I'm not going to say because I don't want to offend that person and chop up the name, not knowing how to speak it. But like I said, it's a pretty decent card. But but I said the card I'm really waiting for is I think it's UC 275, and that is going to be Valentina. She's on the co-main event. She'll be defending her title against Talia Santos. And XA's already said he's going to be ready to start trolling me. But the fact is, XA, brother, your girl doesn't stand a chance against my master of fighting.
Who's my girl?
Hmm?
Who you talking my girl?
Valentina is the master. She's the no. She is the mistress of fighting. And this girl Santos, I know she's a bigger. She might be bigger, but she lacks the skill set to hold up with Valentina. Valentina's skill set is just she might give her a good fight, and that's about it. Might.
I thought you talking about Valerie. Man, watch your mouth.
Nah, I'm not talking about Valerie, boy. Valerie could, I like Valerie much as you can, but Valerie doesn't. Valerie be just get. She wouldn't last the first round with Valentina. I love Valerie. She's a cute girl. She's attractive. She. I think maybe, she. I hope she gets some. Like she. I don't know when she's gonna be fighting. That's the thing about her. It's she. I think she's right now. They have her like in a holding pattern for a good bit. Um, no details of what shows or any competition she's doing anytime soon. She's
Yeah,
mostly
yeah. I'm waiting for her to fight. I mean,
well, it might be like I said, knowing with the UFC. I mean, so knowing Bellator because that's their superstar. They'll probably see how she does. Probably set up some more competition for her. Maybe try to get her into something in the future. It's all depending on because if you have the talent, they especially with the UFC, you have talent. They want to see you grow. Not UFC, sorry, Bellator. They'll push some people, but they just don't do enough. Bellator, in my opinion. There are so many fighters they have that they don't really push as much. The big things. In next month is Chris Cyborg is fighting against um, Arlene Blanco, and she beat her the last time. She beat her bad. I don't know why they have this fight again. I mean, you could maybe let Chris, sit out a little bit for a while. Maybe find find somebody else who she hadn't beat up. The thing is that the one person that everybody wanted to fight is Kat Zingano, but Kat Zingano, her name is Kat. She's acting like a pussy. No offense, but truthfully, that's what she's acting like. She's dodging. She's dodging the fade. She's ducking the fade. Because she don't want to fight Cyborg. She's saying, "Oh, Cyborg's on this, Cyborg's on that." But everybody's gonna crucifix Cyborg. What she did practically over 10 years ago. She made a mistake. She corrected that mistake. But still, people are gonna crucify her for that, while other people continually keep doing the same thing, get on PEDs and other stuff. They keep doing it, but it's easy to point the finger at Cyborg, but you don't point the finger at everybody else. Yeah, it's crazy. So that just makes no sense. It's a lot of prejudice when it comes to her more than anybody else in this in mixed martial arts. You know, Everybody likes, everybody wants to everybody want to make somebody out as the bad guy. Say you're the bad guy, and shout outs to the great late Scott Hall.
yeah.
Yeah,
We're gonna dedicate this live to him.
yeah.
Yeah, we
I
got.
love, yeah, I love the bad guy. He was the bad guy. Like come out and go to cut you up. He took the toothpick, cut it up, and throw it at you. He was a great legend. Like I said, it's just not the same now that he's gone. But
Yeah.
he's in a better place, and hope he's he found his peace. But I think the biggest thing is if you pay attention, the biggest shot right now is that they took, and as you know, I mostly follow all the women. And a lady who I've been acquainted with was a while back. She was doing a fight camp with Amanda Hebus. Now Amanda, she fights in 115, which is strawweight. But there was a rumor going around she's fighting Caitlin Chikagian. Caitlin fights at 125, and that is flyweight. And she is now the number one contender since Jessica Andrade went back down to 115. Now they have Amanda Hebus fighting Caitlin Chikagian. The thing was, Chikagian hasn't even re-signed yet.
Right.
And then this is probably the fight for the dude. And it's not like Rebus had fought in 125 before. She fought Paige Van Zant like about 2 or 3 years back at 125. But now she's fighting, someone like Kagan. Like Kagan, I'm not, like I said, she's in the game quite some time. She used to fight 135, and then when they created 125 division, that's where she moved down. She fought against Valentina. She took a whooping. She fought some pretty good fights. She fought against Jessica Andrade, got put out with a body shot, and she has had fight some pretty good fights, and she won here and there. But now she's married. She is probably just, if she's taking this fight, is for a money grab because and they want to push Hebus. Hebus is, she's a young comer. She's young. She's what about Amanda Hebus' personality? She talks of like this. She's a cute girl. Basically like this. She kind of reminds you of somebody's annoying little cute sister. Sometimes you want to say, "Don't talk, Amanda. Please don't speak." But there's a good chance that they probably want to push her if she can beat Chikagian. There's a good chance she might get pushed to up to like around about 125. You might get to push to 125. Her last fight, which was I think she was with who was her last fight? I'm trying to remember. She did beat her opponent, and it was like I think it was it was how it was who's that girl she fight? Let me pull it up real quick if I can find it real quick. It was let me pull it up. Amanda, yeah, Ibis. Let's see, who was her last fight? Let me check the Share Dog Tapology. Let's see, her record is she's just 28. She's gonna be 29 in August. Now, she fought Verna Generoba, who so we call Rob Snyder. Now, she's supposed to have fought Angel Hill, but that fight got canceled because she got the virus twice. She got the virus. Now then she actually takes a knockout from Marina Rodriguez, who just her last fight. They gave her last fight, Marina Rodriguez. So she took a knockout loss to her, right. And then she's supposed to fight Angel Hill next, but Angel Hill, that fight was canceled because of issues with the virus. And right. Then she fights Verna Jaroba. Now she's supposed to originally fight Michelle Waterson, but Waterson, she had some kind of injury, and Waterson hadn't fought since. What's the last time Michelle Waterson fought? I think not since last year, I believe. She hadn't fought since that fight with let's see, her last fight when she fought Marina Rodriguez and lost that fight. And then she fought Angela Hill, who was like a main card. She was supposed to fight Rebus last year, but then she dropped out of that fight. Michelle Waterson is just, she is getting to the point where, she needs to retire fully. She needs to go ahead. She was one time, she was a future title contender, and Rebus is, her record, she's 10-1. She took that knockout for Rodriguez, but she's 10-1, so that's a good record, especially being UFC. She beat some pretty good opponents, but she beat some cherry picks. I think, like I said, there's a good chance that if she can do good, because if she can do good here at 125, they might put in a running for maybe a future title contendership, like they did with when Jessica Andrade jumped up and she knocked out Chikagian, and it wasn't that long before that she was already fighting for the title. Mm-hmm. So but I don't think Amanda has a chance against Valentina. So they might just test her skills out in this, and if she doesn't do well, she doesn't beat Caitlin Choke, she might just go back to 125 like Jessica Andrade did. And Jessica will be fighting. Let's see who's Jessica was fighting. Let me see. 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 She has two losses. They hadn't updated lately. Oh yeah. She has two losses. She's 11-2 because she lost against Pauliana Viviani back when she's fighting in Brazil, and then Marina Rodriguez was her second loss, and she lost to Pauliana through KO. So she's sometimes if you hit her in the right chin, she gets knocked out. But she's still young. Now the big holdup in this division is it finally signed the contract between Rose Namajunas and Carla Esparza. Now, if you don't know who Carla Esparza is, she was the first um, you know um, strawweight champion. She won the title when she did. It was years ago when they started division, because back then you only had the 135 division. That was it. And people like Jessica Andrade fought 135, and a couple other fighters fought at 135, and then they opened up 115, which gave opportunity for fighters who feel like they were too small for or 135 to drop down. And and Carla Esparza was a champion, and she beat Rose Namajunas, the current champion, for the title. And then no more than maybe a few months after that, she fought against Joanna Jędrzejczyk, who beat her soundly. Joanna I remember seeing that fight. Joanna had against the cage. She was just hitting her with left and right. So many left, she got tired of rights. and then Joanna became champion, which means she was champion for a good while till she lost to Rose. But after a while, Carla was, she took some losses. Some losses that I don't think she deserved to have lost. So like her fight against Claudia Gadelha, she beat Claudia Gadelha, but I don't know why the judges gave her that fight. And then one fight where I truly believe she lost without a doubt, when she faced against Tatiana Suarez, and Tatiana killed her. I mean, both of them wrestlers, but Tatiana is an Olympic level wrestler. It wasn't for the fact that she had gotten cancer, she probably would have been being Olympics. But she took a beating. But then she bounced back after that. After that loss to Tatiana, she beats Verna Jandiroba. Then she beats Alexa Grasso. Beats Michelle Waterhead, and she beats Marina Rodriguez. And then her last fight was with Yan Xiaonan, who fought Marina Rodriguez, and she went on a 5-fight tear. Now she did a thing called Fury Pro Grappling. It's a grappling tournament where it's mostly just grappling. It's wrestling, a little. It's BJJ. This is something fighters do on the side between MMA fights. And she lost that fight against a girl named Danielle Kelly. And she had a big gash on the side of her head. There's some people felt like, the gash probably would ruin her chances for fighting for the title, but it must not, because, like I said, the girl's on a 5-fight winning streak, and it took them so long to let her, and plus her and Rose have history, both being tough together. She beat her for the title 7-8 years ago, and it's just, this is going to happen, and this is going to be I think the third or fourth person that Rose fought twice during her career. I mean, she has a lot of comeback fights. Right now, I'm looking at Rose's record. You say she fought, Cesar Torres back in, when they're both back in Invicta, and she lost to Tisha. Then she fights Torres again. She beats her, and when they both finally got signed to the UFC. Then she fights Joanna back to back. She beats Joanna for the title and then defends the title for Joanna. Fights Jessica Andrade. She loses the title. Fights her again, wins. Fights Wei Li Jing, beat her for the title. Fights Wei Li again, wins, defends the title. and now she's fighting Carla again. So that's like one, two, three, four women she had fought twice. Now the only person she had not fought again was Carolina Kovacevic, but Carolina, I think her career has been sliding after her last fight. She's really been on a slide for a while. She was hot. Carolina was hot for a good minute. She
Yeah.
fought Rose, and then she was fighting for the title, and then she just took a big slide. I mean, she beat Rose, and then she loses to Joanna, then loses to Claudia Gadelha. She takes a couple of wins. She's beating Jodie Escabel and Felice Herring, but then she gets knocked out straight to sleep by Jessica Andrade, loses to Michelle Waterhead. I don't know how you can lose to Michelle Waterson. Loses Alexa Grasso. I can see how you lose Alexa. She has good, fighting skills. Then she loses Yang Zanan, and Yang Zanan cracks her eye, busted her entire eye. She had to be out for almost, she didn't fight for almost 2 years because she had to put a plate in her head and a plate in her where her orbital bone, and because it just messed up. Then she comes back. She loses to two-time pit suspender Jessica Panay. And that's just bad to lose to Jessica Panay. So she's on a like pretty much a 5-fight winning streak, and I think she finally, I believe she retired. Last time I saw her, she got herself some new boobies, and now she's out of the game. Yeah, she seemed like most of the girls, like I know, seemed like a lot of the girls who took some losses, who, run and got themselves some new titums. I mean, Claudia Gadelha got them. They, I see Joanna Jacek's go get them, and then now, here's goes Karolina Kovacevic. I mean, I understand it makes you feel like
Yeah,
what.
do you think Dana paid for them all? I'm just saying, man.
I don't think so. I don't think Dana paid for these ones this time. No, I wouldn't be surprised if he did, but Carolina,
Yeah,
she does pretty good.
look, he hasn't paid the fighters. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he like I said, like we talked about this before, he don't pay these fighters enough. They are risking their lives, their health. Some of these fighters are gonna have long-term issues mentally, physically. It's just a bad thing that they're ones who put in more of the risk, but getting a little of the reward out of it.
Until say his name again because people don't know what his name again.
Dana White.
Dana White, good old White. I'm gonna tell you, you never know. He probably paid for him. Like, yeah,
he barely pays for his own. If his wife wants some titties, he barely pay for hers. I don't know. We probably would pay for hers, but if certain people, he gives some people too much, whatever. I mean, he has, like I said, talk about fighters like Joe Loazo and Cowboy Cerrone are still on this where they should have been cut, but then cut other fighters who maybe had a couple of losses, not and just starting, and it's just crazy how he has his favorites. He admitted he has his favorites, and he picked the people that he feel like they have more opportunities. You know, right now, one thing, John Jones is one of his big stars, but John, he's falling off real hard. We're not even know if John ever going to fight. The big thing I think people want to fight was his fight between him and Francis Ngannou, but I don't think he should fight Francis. He's not ready for Francis yet. I think he should test his skill against Stipe Miocic, or maybe that guy who beat Derek Lewis. I think he should test his skill set before he gets a big fight against Francis Ngannou. Francis is tough.
but
He is.
I don't think he's gonna be there long. You think he's gonna be there like maybe another 2 years, or you gonna probably wait till his contract ran out?
Who, Francis?
Mhm.
I don't know. He might. He if he hasn't really no real opponents. He beat Cyril Gahn. There's no point in him fighting Stipe a third time. You know, unless a couple of other guys start building themselves up. I think the thing is they probably want him to fight John Jones, but I think John, he needs a good coming into heavyweight. He needs a good tune-up fight. So he should fight Stipe Miocic. You know, I think him and Stipe would probably be a better fight to test how his skill set. You know,
I don't think that fight's gonna happen.
yeah, it's always well, it is what it is. That's all I can
Let's
say.
say Dana White. I don't know. I mean, if it's somebody else, could be. But I don't think it's. I mean, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen a few years later. But see, at the time, Francis, he gonna be boxing.
But he says he wants to fight uh Tyson Fury. But I think he's not ready for Tyson Fury. Right? He needs a couple of warm-up fights before he gets down Tyson Fury.
Yeah, I said he should fight at least about maybe 10. I believe that. I think he should fight at least about 10. He be ready.
10.
About
It,
10.
if Tyson Fury be still around the fight, if he don't be found dead
No,
before
that's
he
true
comes
though.
out.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. Tyson, he's on the saddle, so he probably
Yeah,
getting into drugs again, and then
yeah, and kissing me and podcast. Maybe he tests his skills against me. Actually, Joshua, I wouldn't put him against Wilder because that might be a fight of who's one hit quitter gonna knock each other out. You know,
yeah. I tell you, I will. Oh yeah, I will go on boxing. Going to talk about Wilder. There's a possibility Wilder might face Joshua.
that's what I'm hearing because now that Wilder took his two losses to Tyson Fury, now Apple Juice is now has courage.
Right.
Yeah, it's funny now. All of a sudden you have courage.
Oh, so that's what I'm saying, and I'm saying like this, and I'm gonna get we're gonna go get back into it. And we're gonna get back what we talk about though too, and understand this though too, y'all. If Wilder fights Joshua, and he take all his belts, that means it might be a possible number 4 fight with with, Fury. I'm just saying.
I don't know. Usually when you have you usually stop at a trilogy. You rarely ever go to a fourth fight. You usually stop at a trilogy,
Yeah, that's
especially.
true, but that's true. But I'm just saying, right? You're right, but I'm saying if Wilder beats Joshua, right? I'm saying as a first, I'm just saying Joshua have the belts, right?
Hmm.
Joshua has the belts. I'm just saying. And if he gonna beat Joshua, now Undisputed gonna pop up again.
Hmm. That's the debate about that because like I said, and then whatever if Joshua, would there be a fight between him and Fury because they supposed to have been one a while back, but I think there was some issues with the money and the rights and stuff like that. It's all a mess because they were supposed to fight over in Dubai, you know,
Right.
and I don't know why. It's just you can never tell with boxing. That's why I'm not into boxing much like I used to when I was younger. I think it's just it kind of fell off when a lot of guys started retiring. You know, Roy Jones and Mike Tyson and all the superstars back in the day. You know, and it's just kind of just not as exciting like it used to be. You know, I think I might have watched maybe some boxing, some time ago, but it seemed like it's just kind of just weighing off. It's just losing a lot of feel for it. I think mostly because we're not getting the fights that you supposed to get back in the day, but in MMA we're getting the fights we want to see. Well, we're getting sometimes we may not get the fights we want to see because it's like I'm still holding hope for Cyborg Nunez too. But I might as well let that go. I just us Cyborg fans, we want revenge.
Yeah.
We want revenge, but we may not get it. That's the sad part about
Yeah.
it. We have to,
Yeah.
you know. But back to MMA, as you know. Then right now there's talks about I think they're supposed to be pushing somebody to fight Israel Adesanya. I think people want to see him fight this guy named Jared Cannonier, but they I think they're trying to push. I think who coach told me he was trying to push. I mean, he mentioned to me. I think maybe push Kobe Covington up the fight because Kobe fights at welter, so that's just all you got to put on 10 more pounds and fight Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Because his last fight, he really put a whooping on Masvidal. Now Masvidal could have won that fight because he did hit Covington with a mean shot, and he should have just jumped on him when he got hit the mat. But the thing is, you got to be careful when you fight these wrestlers or these BJJ artists. If you hit them flush, and even if you think you got them, you don't got them. Because I've seen fights where, like, I remember I was watching it was Mackenzie Dern versus Randa Marcos, and Randa had hit Mackenzie Dern with a good shot, and she jumped her on the mat, and then Mackenzie put Randa in a submission. It was over. I said, wow. I mean, she did it twice. She did it as another fight in the name of Hannah Cyphers. Hannah had her, and then she jumped her. I said, no, 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 too late, because
Mm-hmm.
Mackenzie doesn't have that great, has no real great stand up, but she's a BJJ artist, and she can submit you if she gets
Mm-hmm.
on her back.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing, because there's so few competitions. There's possibly Usman might fight Gilbert Burns again, or they might push another fighter into his path. I mean, there's so many people, so many opportunities. It's just a lot of the people, like one person that was a big talk about was Paulo Acosta, or I call him Paulo Pasta. I think he's supposed to go up to light heavy now. That's a whole, that might work for him because he's a big dude. And Israel embarrassed him. I mean, he humped the dude after he beat him. And I think that's the last thing you want to do is have some guy beat you and then hump you. Take your manhood. That's just embarrassing.
Yeah. 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 I just again. Oh yeah. I only mentioned this. Thank you, brother Go Professor. He came through and show us some love. He hit the like button. I know he's busy and stuff like that. So thank you for coming through, brother Go Professor. Hit the like button. Always been a big supporter. Thank you so much, brother. I want you to go subscribe to brother Go Professor, and also go sub to my brother right here, brother George Page. I want you to
Mhm.
go. I want you to go support him. Go sub to him. Got great things. The brothers ain't come through tonight.
Well, this is it's March Madness, brother.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
March Madness.
Lot of upsets too, y'all.
Yeah, that's the big thing. When March Madness comes through, everybody is, it's like, I think March Madness is about as popular when you hit the Super Bowl. It's like a almost a month long Super Bowl compared to to anything. I mean, I used to like to watch it when I was younger, but and so when my team like Carolina get put out, I just say, nah, I don't care anymore.
Well, North Carolina beat Baylor. Y'all still win.
Yeah, I know Baylor, but I used to remember when I was younger when they got put out early. I said, nah, I don't care anymore. You know, but Carolina
Y'all
do
got,
pretty
y'all,
good.
y'all got a chance to go to the Final Four now.
Yeah, we have a chance. It's been a long time. It's been almost, I think, a good 4 or 5 years since since Roy retired last year. The new guy, if he
I like
can,
him with Davis. He's a North Carolina alumni. He good.
remember he was
He
with Kansas. Well, then
huh?
because but you remember he was with Kansas before, and then he was under Dean Smith. He was one of
Yeah.
Dean Smith protege, and when they got rid of the guy, with Brad Doherty, they brought him in. He did pretty good. He won at least 2 titles before they retired. I remember that one year when Obama was president, he predicted they were going to win. I think it was like 2010, I believe. And Mike Shesty got mad, like, he's the president. He shouldn't be talking about that. Mike Shesty was his greasing former hair for men. Shut the hell up, Mike Shesty. And now he's retired. Thank God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he retired. Yeah. 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 I'm sorry. Guess that's all we got, right?
That's all we got. Like I said, usually we have Watcher and Exit coming through. They usually can give us a little more information. But you know what? I did pretty good. Like I said, I didn't watch as many fights like they do. And I did pay attention to the ones I did watch.
Yeah, we did.
And
We did all right.
they did all right. Next time we let's clown XA and Watcher next time for not being here.
You showed us out, man. You showed us out. All right, man. This is gonna do. You know what? You know how we do it. Hit us
Yeah.
with the last one, Mars. I hit one last one close up.
Well, folks, we like to appreciate you, me and my brother, the underrated darkness, the number one grinder. We appreciate you coming through, especially Yogo Professor. Also, there's another person that was here.
Mark Nash, brother Mark Nash. Oh yeah,
Yeah, Mark
go
Nash.
sub to him.
Yeah. Y'all listen to us. Like I said, I'm still a casual and when it comes to MMA, but I'm learning. I am learning. But my specialty is professional bodybuilding. I was out yesterday. I went to visit a gentleman who we've been corresponding. He does photos and video stuff for bodybuilding. And we're talking. We went to visit him. We talked a good bit. I also saw him do some sessions with a young lady, but her name is Lexi West. She's the United States military officer. She's supposed to be deploying. She was going to compete, but she's deploying. So Lexi, shout out to you. Shout out to my man Glenn Young. Also, shout out to a lady I also met. Her name was Emma. She was a hair and makeup artist. So appreciate her. And like I said, shout out to all the ladies out there in MMA, all the guys in MMA, all the people in this. This is a tough sport, and people who sitting in their chairs saying, "Hey, I can do that." You can't. Once you never know what you do when you get that first hit. You either you can stand up or you can fall down.
Oh, you know what? I forgot. I forgot to bring up one thing. I want to bring up two more things before I make my last remark. No matter of fact, let me make my last remark. Then I'll bring up the two things.
Okay.
I want to thank y'all for everything. This is the last of the underrated MMA MMA sports talk. Underrated number 34. 35 will be next week. Hopefully we can have the full panel and stuff like that. So, and also, if you travel tonight, please to your destination or home, please take extra safety precaution to protect yourselves. Because we don't want nothing to happen to you because the climate out there is real and we don't want nothing to happen to you. Um, Let me ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's up with the leprechaun? Cause I be hearing him. He gonna keep on get some fights. Get a fight.
He's the big
And
star. He's
to be too. I be hearing them names late.
Yeah, he's the big star. He's Dana White's bottom bitch. You know, there's no telling. Depending when because that foot injury that's been see, almost a year or so ago. And it takes a while for that leg to recover. That it's gonna take a while. Dana, that's like I said again, that's his bottom bitch. He's gonna try to make as much money off of him. This talks of possibly him fighting. They want to push a third fight with him and no. Khabib's retired. Khabib he has his own fight organization, Eagle FC. I'm not sure it's gonna last long. It's just something I think he had an event some time ago, and it's possible actually a third fight through him and Dustin Poirier because Poirier is already I think it's a fourth fight because Poirier is already 2-1 over him.
God, come on.
So or also maybe try to push him for a title fight against Oliveira. Once he fights Gaethje. It's just whatever he wants. Like I said, it's Connor's world. We're just squirrels in it. And it's just I'm tired of. I used to like Conor McGregor. I used to like him. I like his person. I mean, but his personality is just that of. I mean, he's full of shit. That's what he is. He's just, and I'm hoping, somebody, maybe, Dana just, sits on him because, that's his, like I said again, his bottom bitch. That's his money maker.
Okay. Okay. You see, you hear it. You heard it. So we just gotta wait and see. Thank you, my brother. I
You're welcome, my brother.
And we will be back. I think they also now the first week of April we ain't gonna do nothing because there's nothing happening on April the first week of April. But we will be back the second week of April. Because there's nothing in April. There's no fights in April. First week of April, but we will be back the second week of April. So take a break and stuff like that. And then usually in April anyway, the first week of April, that's when the national championship be happening. I think I'm not don't quote me on that because I think they moved the date. But thanks again. This is the last of the underrated MMA sports talk number 34. 35 will be next week. And y'all have a good night. Much blessings, much blessings, much blessings. This one is goes. Have a good night. Peace.